Also, it's important to establish the necessary foundation for collective responsibility for peace. My friend, peace is not only the responsibility of those who are at war. Peace is the responsibility of those of us who are not at war and do not have the capacity to stop the war. I feel as responsible about the wars in the world, and I sit down when I meditate and said, why I'm not there yet? Why I do not have the capacity to stop it? We need to create peace plans and strategies that have collective responsibility. And finally, it's important to improve the natural environment. I don't know if you have been in war zones, but the natural environment is blown out. My friends, human interaction takes place in the natural environment. So we need to build a natural environment in these countries. This sounds probably something very out of the system, but if you are meeting with you and I in the middle of the desert, where actually you're meeting around holes of bombs that arrived yesterday, into this place, it's very difficult. No trees, no water, this devastation, around war. Houses are all on the ground. We need to take care of the natural and human environment of these countries. I'd like to mention very briefly, three considerations, and then I will stop. First and foremost, it's important to advocate for peace. And I am also an advocate in many ways. And because I was a little bit of a strong advocate in one part of my career, I had to end it. Because some people, cannot take advocacy. But today I want to talk about the fact that advocacy without content in yourself, advocacy without the self-realization of what you are advocating, is empty advocacy. Please do not take a banner about peace if you have not self-realized peace, if you're not willing to build the self-realization of peace. You don't have the legitimacy to go with a banner of something you don't know, that you have never experienced. So it's very important that we understand that we should do advocacy, but not just for the sake of advocacy. Secondly, it is important to revise profoundly this idea that war is good for the economy. This is something that we used to learn in economics because we saw Second World War, and I was a student of economics 20 years after the war. So we were having pictures in our books of ladies, sewing uniforms, and we created employment, and we created income, and so the economy, and people will say, when the economy is going wrong, let's go to war, let's make it work. My friends, as an economist, I tell you, the net impact of war in the economy is not only inequitable, but it's not making the economy work. So we need to put economists at the service of the economy of peace. Let's do research. Maybe, my feeling is, but I don't have all the research, I don't do that anymore, that the economy of peace might be the net gainer for the whole world, not only this. And the third point I want to make is that we need to change the language. And one part of the language that is essential, and we are at the National Press Club, and we are in the First Amendment room. We have to stop the language of winner and losers. If we continue thinking that solutions will come if I am a winner, then I can stay a long time in a country until I become a winner. We have to stop this. There are no winners or losers. We are all winners with peace. And we should not judge people this way, because then you put them in a position that is terrible. I remember I was here when the Vietnam veterans came back. And people say, yeah, what war? You lost it. It's terrible. You put people in a position of failure. You put a president in a position of failure. You put a Congress in the position of failure. You put a mayor in the position of failure. You put me in a position of failure. You in a position of failure. We need to win something. I'm saying there is nothing to win about war. Let's go and win with peace. What should we do next? I have several points, but I only make two. One is that we need to recognize that we are not at peace with ourselves, and we are not with an environment of world peace. So we need to strengthen a culture of peace. We need to have peace life, peace communication, peace politics, peace democracy, peace economics, peace production, peace consumption, peace music, everything peace is central to what comes next. So every day when you go home, you put a peaceful music. Every day you invite a peaceful person. Every day you connect with peace. This is so fundamental. Again, I am not making a proclamation as the personal author of this idea. This is an idea that is going on for quite a while. But I want to put it again on the table. Many people do not have working environments that are peaceful. So they spend 8 hours during the day under stress and the terrible management and so on, and they go home, they have a stress in the family is divided because of globalization, work, and everyone has to work. We need to worry about the culture of peace. The other thing which is important is to eliminate toxicity in our society. This is a very toxic society. And I'm not talking only about being toxic because of alcohol. By the way, if you take all foreign assistance of the world, it's $60 billion a year. If you take only the consumption of alcohol in Europe, it's $150 billion a year. So we know where the money is going. $350 billion in drugs. But I'm talking about toxicity from your thinking, toxicity from your look, toxicity from your touch, toxicity from your words, toxicity from your behavior. I think we need to detox our societies. Silence, meditation, contemplation is a very important tool for tending toxicity. We need to eliminate very sophisticated forms of violence. Violence economics and violent business needs to be in the agenda. This is a very sophisticated way to, choke countries, choke society, choke neighborhoods. Let me end with an appeal to you. Together we should be at International Peace Day. Let's make International Peace Day a true opening of this window of opportunity to show the fact that silence is also, and to me, probably the most powerful form to attain individual peace and collective peace. Thank you very much.